Happy Monday, everybody. We are here and we are here to support you through your week because these weeks are getting longer and longer, I feel like. As the sun is starting to come out in some places, we will feel stuck inside, so let's see if we can make it a positive time. All right, so today we are talking about hand under hand, the many uses for hand under hand, which is one of our PAC skills that we use to support when someone's hands are not doing the things they used to be able to do. So my first question for the PAC team, how many things have you used your skills fingers for today? So this is your skills fingers. Hold up your first three fingers, your thumb, first finger, and middle finger. Those are your skills fingers, and we use those to do fine motor tasks. And we use them pretty much as soon as we can for skilled work. So what have you used these fingers for today?
I opened a bottle of water.
Oh, sure it was. A bottle of water, Mary says. Good. What else? Carrie, you're showing. Oh, she's got her mouse. Oh, yes, the little mouse there. I'm going to stop sharing.
To make and eat my lunch.
Make and eat your lunch. Yeah, that's a lot of skill finger work. Christy held up her computer. That uses all of the fingers, but very skill work fingers. Some of you use one of those skill fingers. Yeah.
Brushing my teeth.
Brushing teeth. And brushing teeth, think about how many skills that uses, because it's really not just about skill fingers. What else does that use? Pressure, the pressure in your mouth. Yeah, how you hold your mouth. The skill of your tongue, the skill of your throat to not swallow down the saliva that you're producing while you're doing that. And the very intricate detail of brushing outside, top, inside, 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 outside, top, inside, and then turning the toothbrush over so you can get the top, outside, back, inside. It's a lot of skills in those wrist, hand, fingers, but a lot of it comes from that ulnar nerve. So how would we do if we didn't have the use of these three skill fingers throughout the rest of our day? What would happen?
Not well.
I wouldn't get very much done, if anything.
Yeah.
What kinds of things can you do with strength hands? So if your hands are lacking skill, but you can use all five fingers, but mostly for strength, what kinds of things can you do? Yeah, you can hold on to something. Can you still eat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you eat with utensils?
No,
or is it probably going to be
hand?
Whole hand motion? Yeah, but can you still eat? Absolutely. It just may not be the way that you've always done it. Yeah.
Maybe not soup.
Soup would be real tough unless you just did a. Yeah.
There you go. Drink it.
Just drink it. Yeah, it's soup. So let's take a look and see. So for PAC, this is something that's really important for us to start to consider, because as people head through the journey of dementia, we end up having some changes in our hand skills. So our hands are pretty incredible features. We do a lot with them without even thinking about it. And yet at one point, your brain formed the synapses to figure out what the heck to do with these things on the ends of your hands. Because when you started your life, they really couldn't do all that skill that we're talking about. You learned it over time. Your parents or somebody taught you how to do these things, or you just developed it eventually. You started to play with stuff. You started to figure it out. And your skill fingers became skilled. When we have brain deterioration, we do start to see some shifts in what these skill fingers can do. So Sapphire is still intact, just slightly slower. I can still do all the things, but it may take me a lot longer to get that zipper into the right slot, because now I'm not just working with slower skill fingers. I also have changed vision, and maybe I have some other health impairments going on that's given me something where I actually can't see the zipper anymore right in front of me, so I've got to hold it out to the side or hold it really far out here. And so now it's really hard. And so I'm going off of feel rather than sight. So it's going to take me a little longer. Slower, or when I shift into a diamond, slower still, but limited with bilateral skilled integration. Whoa, those are a lot of big words. Anybody want to take a guess on what that means? So do this with your hands, put them on both sides of your brain. And remember, your right hand, go ahead and take your right hand and touch the big part of your brain, and now cross it over to the left side of your body. The right side of your brain controls the left side of your body, and your left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. So we're actually crossed. And so going from one side to the other, switching hands, pushing over, shifting from this eye to that eye. Shifting from one side, bi, or lateral, to the other side is bilateral, two sides. So I'm slower and I'm getting limited in my ability to go from one side to the other side and back. That skilled integration from one side to the other side. As I shift more into an emerald, which for many is where people start to notice changes are happening, still fairly early on in this condition, the individual actions are there. I can do each separated movement. I can do this, spoon to mouth, spoon to mouth, spoon to mouth, but I'm having trouble with the sequencing. If you remove the soup, I'm not sure where my hand would go. I get confused, or if the soup is there, but then I want to take a drink of water, even if I can physically do the skill of picking up the water glass, which is a different feel, it's a different sensation, and it's a different skill set and strength in my hand from a spoon. I can do that individually, but going from one task to the next, or sequencing through them is really difficult for me. Ambers, I use my hands even more than before, because remember, like we said, we're starting to lose some of that skill, and actually that spoon is a little bit difficult, but I sure as heck can get my fingers in there, and ooh, that feels really interesting. Ooh, let me go ahead and pick that up, and let me see if that, oh yeah, that's good. And I might then use two hands to do something that before would have been seen as, what are you doing? Get your fingers out of your soup bowl, but yet it feels really interesting, and the spoon was just causing the steps weren't making sense. And I become stronger because I'm losing a little bit of the skill, and so sometimes that idea of overcompensation, I do things a little more strongly than I meant to. So I was just feeling the petals of that fake flower, and then suddenly, it just came off in my hand, oops. And then Ruby, I now take your hands and do that whole hand movement. Instead of having that skilled 3-finger use, I've shifted into my hands are really not as skilled in the first 3 fingers, and I have a lot more strength than I have skill. But I can still do the big motions, the big movements, but I may need something a little less small and skilled to hold on to. A spoon isn't really gonna do the thing unless it's a really easy and big ladled spoon that is gonna hold against gravity, because again, just like with brushing our teeth, it's not just the skill of those first 3 fingers and can I hold on to it, it's now how do I hold against gravity as I move towards my mouth, going scoop up, turn the spoon, hold the spoon all the way up to my mouth. Those are a lot of skills that aren't necessarily related to your fingers, but that are within your hand, your arm, and up to that other side of your brain. Whew. And finally, pearls, strong grasp, limited opening. For many pearls, this is where if their contractures are happening, my hand may not actually even open anymore. My muscles are pulling in on my whole body, and so my hand is actually closed tight. So, what does that mean when we're trying to support someone who's living in one of these different states? What's something we can try? Well, this is where we have what's called hand under hand. So I'm going to show just a couple of videos, and I want us to identify where this might be helpful and what else we could use hand under hand for. So this first video here is Tipa helping, assisting me with getting dressed. And so I want you to just see what kind of hand skill I've got and how hand under hand can be useful. And then we're going to talk about some other ideas that we've got. Oh, shoot. You know what? I think I forgot to share sound. I am so sorry. One of these days I'm going to remember. I promise. All right, let's try it again.
So what we're going to be doing in this series of little vignettes is help us really look harder at how we help when people need, want, may not want a little assistance getting their clothing, their outer clothing on or another layer of clothing on because of the weather. And then we may work on getting them back off. That can also be a challenge. So typically what happens when somebody wants to help somebody put on a jacket is we start off by having them try to get their arm in, and if they can close their hand up, as Amanda just did, less of an issue. And then we have
So really quickly, because she kind of glossed over this fact, why is it important to close your hand and have the skill in your hand to know to close it as you put it through a sleeve? What happens otherwise?
The fingers get stuck.
Yeah, and how does that feel when your fingers get stuck as you're pushing it through a sleeve?
Very
Oh,
painful.
very painful. So that sensation is making sure that you've got that hand closed and knowing just when the right moment to open it up, because then if I don't get my hand all the way through, what does my other hand just automatically, imagine you're trying to get that sleeve out and you're trying to figure it out, what does your other hand automatically do? Those skill fingers come over and they very delicately pull it down around so that you don't cause damage to your hand. So something that seems so simple, well, you just put it on, actually takes quite a bit of skill in your hand and the rest of your body. So I'm going to stop us there because we don't need to watch the whole video. You can go on and watch it if you'd like, and I'll show you where to find it in a minute. But here's another example of hand under hand for supporting someone getting in and out of a car. Teepa does helping someone eat, teeth brushing, all kinds of skills of daily living. So that's something else. I gave this a try myself, so I'm gonna play this video as well so you can see what does it look like when we're talking about more fine motor skills. Something that we women do a lot of, but that's actually quite difficult to do, is putting in earrings. So.
The next way. Go. Okay.
Oh, Abby, hey.
Hey,
Hey, how are
Hey.
ya?
good.
Good to see ya. Oh, those are not working. Oh, those are pretty.
They look nice with my.
Oh, with your outfit, yeah, those are really
Skin.
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You wanting to put them on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep dropping.
Yeah. Here, you do it. Here.
Oh.
There we go. So, how many of us would have been tempted to try to get it in with our left hand because I had a free left hand? And instead, what was important for me to do? Where did my left hand actually go? On her shoulder. So it's nice and still and pushes some pressure on. And then my right hand is trying to finagle an earring into this tiny little hole. But yet, why? Why do we take time to do stuff like this instead of just doing it for people? Because it's probably faster if we just do it for them. What do you guys think? Why do something like hand under hand for skills?
I think
And we're
people,
doing-
yeah, I'm sorry, Keith, go ahead.
Just gonna say, I mean, simply at first you're doing it with them instead of for them. So they're participating in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, so they get to participate. They feel like they're part of the action. How did we build those skill fingers that you didn't start with? Because we started with a hand that did something like this, and really mostly this. It didn't really want to let go of stuff. It could hold on really tight. As a baby, you can hold on super tight to stuff and not let go. You can pick a baby up with 2 fingers. pretty early on because they hold on super tight. And then eventually we start to learn some skill. How did we learn that skill?
By doing.
By doing it. And so if I do it and I do it and I do it, and then I start to lose some of that skill and you do it for me, what happens faster than it should? All those skills that I've developed my whole life go away, and now you're making me less capable than I could be. So it is a tough skill. How many of you on this call have tried hand under hand and found it to be super easy the first time that you did it? Do we all have some horror stories of where things went south? Yeah, that was my third iteration of getting that stupid earring in there. The first two took me 5 minutes, and then we finally stopped filming. It's not as easy as it looks, but is it worth it to try?
Absolutely.
So thanks, team. I'm going to show you where you can find this video. If you really want to see the video of me getting Abby's earring in, I will show it to you personally. You just let me know. But if you go here to our YouTube channel, teepasnow.com on YouTube, if you're subscribed and you haven't clicked the little bell, you can click the bell so that you can make sure you get notifications. But you also, there's a little search function here that I typed in hand under hand, and you can see the getting dressed, hand under hand to support someone to stand, bathing in dementia, and there's lots more down there under this category. So feel free to poke around and find some new great tools to practice. But I encourage you to not just watch the videos, because you have to actually get your skill fingers to do the things that you're hoping they'll be able to do, because it sure as heck is not as easy as it looks. But for us, it's worth it to try. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, PAC Team, for joining us. We have lots of stuff going on, and we'll keep new events popping up every day. So keep up the good work, and thanks, everybody, for joining us. See you next time.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread TEEPS's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.